Part 114. Doomsday Special Forces. Author, Huanjing Chengzhu. Chapter 1131. After answering the headquarters, Dapper said to the other three fleet commanders in the communicator. Brewster, come back to the headquarters with me. As for Karul and Bitli, you choose a direction and patrol. Remember that your two fleets should not be separated. Bitli was the commander of the last space fleet to join. He naturally heard the order from the headquarters on the communicator, so he quickly agreed and then commanded his fleet to merge with Karul's fleet and form them together. As for where to search for the human race, he was ready to listen to Karul because he didn't see the human warship at all. As for Brewster, after hearing the order from the headquarters and Dapper's words, he didn't say anything and directly ordered his fleet to return. He had no other choice. If he refused to execute the order from the headquarters now, not to mention Dapper and others, even his own fleet would not agree. However, after knowing that he was about to return to the headquarters, Brewster decided not to tell the human race. He would first see how the headquarters would deal with him after returning to the headquarters, and then consider how to make a fuss about this hidden human race. Dopula also ordered his fleet to return, and intentionally or unintentionally surrounded Brewster's fleet with his fleet, as if to prevent Brewster from escaping. For this situation, Brewster just sneered. He really hoped that Dopula would do this, because in this way, the human race might be able to teleport directly into the warship of the Dopula fleet. If this is the case, once the human race is exposed, I am afraid that the trouble will not be his. Even if the human race did not change the place, when entering the headquarters, after being discovered, Brewster also had something to say, because when he came back, his fleet was surrounded by Dopula's fleet. Who knows if this human race ran from Dopula's warship? Even if he can't reduce his guilt, at least he has to drag Dopula into the water, because Brewster feels that a large part of his current situation is caused by Dopula. Being able to drag him into the water, at least Brewster will not have any guilt. Dapper naturally didn't know what Brewster was thinking, and he was not at the scene when Brewster's fleet fought the Yanhuang before, so he didn't think that the human who destroyed several of Brewster's space battleships was still hiding in Brewster's fleet. As for the captains of the space battleships under Brewster, although some people guessed that the human might not have left, no one dared to say it clearly, because none of them knew which battleship the human was in. They knew that they could use the life detection system to find the human, but no one dared to turn on the life detection system on their battleships, because once it was turned on, it would be easy to deal with if it was not on their battleship, but what if it was in their battleship? All the captains dared not guarantee that after discovering the human, their colleagues in their battleships would still remain silent. As long as there was one blind person who reported it directly, then their lives would really come to an end. They had seen the warships destroyed before with their own eyes. Once the commander knew that the human race was on his warship, he would probably be fired upon by other warships and perish together with the human race. So now they saw that their captain seemed to have forgotten about the human race, so they all kept silent, and some even deceived themselves directly, saying that the human race had left. Anyway, the captain didn't give any orders now, so no matter what happened, he would be responsible for it, and it had little to do with them. So, with this mentality, the two fleets flew in formation towards their headquarters at a high speed. And Wang Feng, who was hiding in the warship, now felt that he was lucky, because the space battleship he was hiding in happened to belong to the fleet that was ordered to return to the headquarters. Before, Wang Feng had secretly hidden the communicator of the Space Ghost. Although the authority of this communicator was not so high, and it did not receive the conversations of the four fleet commanders and the orders issued by the Space Ghost headquarters, Wang Feng still clearly heard Brewster's order to return to the headquarters. Since they were going back to the headquarters, he might as well take a ride. Originally, Wang Feng planned to drive a small fighter plane to go there in stealth, which would be more certain. However, when Wang Feng was about to leave the battleship, he found that the space battleship he was in the central part of the entire fleet. It was very difficult to get out without being discovered. Wang Fen naturally didn't know that Brewster's fleet was surrounded by Dapper's fleet, but after seeing this situation, Wang Fen gave up his idea. Anyway, there seemed to be no movement in Xianyuan space now, which meant that the instructors would not have any problems in it for the time being, so he would wait until he arrived at the headquarters of the Space Ghost. If I try to find a way out now, I will probably be discovered by the Cosmic Ghost. It will be difficult to escape at that time, and it will be easy for unexpected things to happen. However, if I just enter the Cosmic Ghost headquarters, it seems to be very dangerous, especially after entering the Cosmic Ghost headquarters. If I am discovered, I will have no chance to escape. Now Wang Fen is hiding at the very end of the space battleship, and the location is not inside the battleship, but on the outer shell of the space battleship. Anyway, the size of the space battleship is quite large, and Wang Fen can hide himself in any corner. Especially now that these space battleships are still using energy shields for some reason. With this layer of light blue light shield, the space ghosts on other space battleships will not be able to find Wang Fen's existence. Of course, Wang Fen didn't know that Brewster had been chasing the Yanhuang before, and he also knew that Wang Fen was hiding in his fleet, so he didn't order the cancellation of the energy shield. After receiving the order to return to the headquarters, Bruce even threw the issue of the energy shield behind his mind and thought about his future. After seeing that Bruce did not cancel the energy shield, Dapper turned on the energy shield for his fleet to prevent any accidents. Therefore, the two fleets of nearly 20,000 space battleships turned on the shield and sailed towards their headquarters. Wang Fen could not help but sigh, the rich are rich, and they can squander energy like this. Even if the energy shield consumes very little when it is not resisting the attack, but these are 20,000 space battleships, so the energy consumed is definitely not small. At least the energy they consume in 1 hour is several times more than the energy consumed by the Yanhuang in the previous continuous battles. Wang Fen, who originally regarded the energy of the Cosmic Ghost as his own, couldn't help but feel a little distressed and curse the Cosmic Ghost for being a spendthrift, but he couldn't just show up now and persuade these Cosmic Ghosts to turn off their shields, right? After more than 3 days of sailing, the two space fleets finally returned to their headquarters, but they did not return with the shields turned on all the time. If that were the case, the commanders of the two fleets would probably be scolded. The energy reserves of the Space Ghost are sufficient, but they can't be wasted like this, right? Who the hell has seen an energy shield turned on even when sailing? Just 2 days ago, Brewster, whose emotions finally stabilized, suddenly found that it seemed that the warships around him all had energy shields turned on. Then he remembered that he had not cancelled the battle order before, so the warships below did not dare to cancel the shields on their own initiative. Especially when Brewster found that Dapper's fleet was the same as his own fleet, all the warships were sailing with shields turned on, and he couldn't help but feel very proud. Aren't you Dapper awesome? Known as the commander of the First Fleet, how come you are so scared that you dare not cancel the shield next to my fleet? Although he had been worried about his future and fate, at this time, Brewster's mood suddenly became better. Then he directly issued an order to let his fleet cancel the energy shield at the same time. After seeing Brewster's fleet cancel the energy shield, Dapper's fleet also did the same thing. Dapper didn't expect that Brewster had forgotten before, but thought that Brewster was ready to give up resistance now. However, even so, Dapper still gave his fleet an order to prepare for war. In fact, Dapper also knew that even if Brewster wanted to disobey, the captains of his space battleships would not follow him, and might even turn against him and directly destroy his flagship. After all, the families of those captains were still at the headquarters. They would definitely not sacrifice their families for their fleet commanders, especially for this kind of thing. In the Space Ghost, only the Supreme Commander was punished, and other captains would basically not be punished. Because they were just following orders, whether the order was correct or not was not their responsibility. As long as the order did not obviously violate the military regulations of the Cosmic Ghost clan, they had to follow it. At this time, Wang Feng had also changed his perspective. After losing his energy shield, he had to be more careful, lest he be discovered by other cosmic ghosts. After seeing the headquarters of the Cosmic Ghost from a distance, Wang Feng was shocked and blurted out, "Damn! Why is it so big?" Doomsday Special Forces. Author, Huanjing Chengzhu. Chapter 1132. The Universe Ghost headquarters that appeared in front of Wang Feng was a rather large and magnificent city. At least, from Wang Feng's current perspective, even with his sky eye, he could not see the end of the Universe Ghost headquarters. Moreover, this city was quite modern. There were densely packed space battleships floating in the sky, and small fighter planes were constantly flying in the middle, as if they were patrolling. Various buildings were neatly lined up in the city, and countless aircraft were shuttling through the city. It looked peaceful. Wang Feng had seen the Universe Ghost headquarters on the original star, but the Universe Ghost headquarters on the original star was not even a refugee camp compared to this one. The moment he saw the city, Wang Feng actually felt envious. He felt that if he could live in such a city, it would be a fairy-like life. Unexpectedly, the notorious Universe Ghost clan actually built such a good living environment for themselves, but Wang Feng also knew that this magnificent city was built with the blood of countless other races. In the center of the city, there is a building that is 1 kilometer high and covers an area of 10 kilometers. In the entire city, only this building has always turned on the energy shield. Under the faint blue halo, the building looks quite imposing. When the fleet of warships that Wang Feng is in, which is composed of 2 space fleets, arrived in the city, they stopped at the edge of the city, and then some small fighters flew over. 2 small fighters also flew out from the 2 flagships. They are the 2 fleet commanders Dapper and Brewster. According to the rules of the Space Ghost, every space battleship returning from outside must be inspected by the guards stationed here. And the building in the center of the city, covered by blue light, is the core of the Space Ghost clan, the Elders Council. To enter there, even the fleet commander needs to take a small fighter and must drive it himself. Space ghosts who have not been summoned by the Elders Council are prohibited from entering the Elders Council. Therefore, even Dopula, at this time, must personally fly a small fighter plane, and only after being inspected and confirmed that there are no problems can he enter the Senate. Brewster drove a small fighter plane and followed Dopula's fighter plane to fly towards the Senate, because there is still a certain distance from the edge of the city to the Senate. As for the human race that mixed into his fleet, Brewster did not pay attention to it. Although his fleet also had to be inspected, Brewster knew that this was just a formality. After all, the families of the cosmic ghosts on the battleship are all in the city, and they are still fighting against foreign races. No cosmic ghost will become a spy of the human race and help the human race to calculate their own race. Even Brewster did not reveal that Wang Feng was hiding in his fleet before, but in fact he just wanted to leave himself hope, hoping that if Wang Feng could appear around his city, he could bring him some turning points. As for how much damage Wang Feng could bring to the city of Cosmic Ghost, Brewster had never thought about it, because he was quite confident in the defense of his city. Not to mention just one human, even if there were 10,000 of them, they wouldn't be able to make any waves. At best, that human could only create some riots on the edge of the city, and it was unlikely that they could even go deep into the city, let alone the heavily guarded Elders Council. And Brewster was hoping that Wang Feng would live up to his expectations and try to enter the city after seeing it. In this way, he would divert the attention of the Elders Council and perhaps suppress the outcome of his treatment. If he could gain some military merits in the subsequent battles with the human race, he might be able to save his life, and even his position. Because in the eyes of the Elders Council, in fact, there is basically no difference between their fleet commanders and other crew members, so as long as you don't make a big mess, they basically won't deliberately target you. Now those small fighters have gone to check their own and Dapper's fleets, and this is exactly what Brewster is looking forward to, because he knows that the way the small fighters check is actually very simple, that is, to use life detectors to detect whether there are creatures of other races in these space battleships. Because the space ghosts themselves believe that their people will never betray their own race. Even if they want to betray their own race, other races probably dare not accept it. After all, their way of absorbing energy is too special. Who dares to stay with a creature that may treat themselves as food at any time? So Brewster believes that the human hidden in his fleet will definitely be exposed at this time, and Brewster has already prepared a statement. Whether the human is found in the battleship of his fleet or in the battleship of Dapper's fleet, Brewster has a way to defend himself. Now, Brewster is flying a small fighter towards the Elders while paying attention to the movement behind, because he doesn't know which battleship the human is in, so all he can do is wait. However, what surprised Brewster was that until the small fighters responsible for checking their fleet flew back, nothing happened there. This seemed to be completely different from what Brewster had imagined. Where did the human race go? Why didn't the small fighters that were checking find him? Brewster frowned tightly, but he couldn't go back and ask the small fighters to check again, right? Therefore, he could only continue to fly to the Senate, but in this way, all his previous designs would be ruined. If there were no other accidents, he could not shirk his responsibility at all. After all, the human race battleship escaped from their encirclement. Using a fleet to stop a battleship but failing after suffering losses, such a record is unacceptable in any case, even if the opponent is the human race who once severely damaged their fleet with a space battleship. Seeing that the Elders' Council was about to arrive, but nothing happened in his fleet, Brewster finally sighed and accepted this fact. He drove his small fighter plane directly, followed Dapper, and entered the Elders' Council. Damn! It seems that the human race has already escaped. When entering the energy shield, Brewster cursed fiercely in his heart. However, this time Brewster guessed wrong. Wang Feng certainly did not escape. However, when Wang Feng saw those small fighter planes shuttling among the space battleships, he suddenly felt something was wrong, so he looked at the surrounding environment. Because they had returned to their city and were ready to be inspected, all the space battleships were neatly arranged, and at this time Dapper's fleet and Brewster's fleet were completely separated, because they had already arrived at their headquarters, and Dapper didn't need to continue to watch Brewster's fleet. Moreover, Wang Feng's luck was pretty good. His battleship was at the edge of the entire fleet. Although it was not at the outermost side and there was a row of space battleships next to it, it was at least much better than the middle. Wang Feng stared closely at the small fighters that were shuttling among the space battleships, and prepared for teleportation at the same time, because he had looked at the ground before, and now the distance between the space battleship and the ground had exceeded the limit of his teleportation. If Wang Feng wanted to teleport to the ground, he would need to teleport at least 3 times in a row. In other words, before Wang Feng reached the ground, he needed to expose his body in the air twice. Although those space battleships that seemed to be guarding the city were still far away from here and were all stationary, it was still too risky. Because of those 2 pauses in the air, Wang Feng had no shelter around him that could cover him. Even if he was alone, he would be very conspicuous in the air. So Wang Feng thought again and decided not to take the risk. Now he was going to take advantage of the gaps between the small fighters in the process of moving to avoid their inspection. Looking at the flight trajectories of these small fighters and the performance of these space battleships, Wang Feng guessed what they were doing. So Wang Feng thought that if he took advantage of the time when those small fighters checked a space battleship and flew to another space battleship, he could teleport to the battleship he had checked before, and he should be able to avoid their inspection and fool himself. Of course, doing so was also very risky, because Wang Feng did not know how the space ghost checked. Although he knew that it was a scan when he saw the small fighters just flying slowly beside the space battleship, he did not know what it was scanning. But at present, Wang Feng only had this one method, which was at least much better than taking the risk of going to the ground, because even if he used this method to dodge, he would be in the fleet of space battleships, not like on the ground, without any cover. While Wang Feng was waiting, the small fighter plane that was checking their space battleships finally finished checking the one in front of Wang Feng, and began to accelerate towards their battleship. Now, Wang Feng saw this opportunity and immediately teleported to the space battleship that they had just checked. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Doomsday Special Forces. Author, Huanjing Chengzhu. Chapter 1133. Although teleporting to the battleship requires 2 consecutive teleports, which means that Wang Feng's body will appear in the air once, but after all, this is in the air, there are so many battleships, and Wang Feng's body is not as good as these behemoths. Moreover, Wang Feng waited until the small fighter was about to approach before teleporting, so he appeared behind the small fighter. As long as the life detector of the small fighter was not always on, he had a great chance of not being discovered. However, it was obvious that Wang Feng's luck was not as good as he imagined. Because the life detectors of these small fighters were always on, but because the life detectors were installed on small fighters, the coverage area was not large. It was precisely because of this that Wang Feng was not discovered before launching the teleport. But after the teleportation was launched, because Wang Feng's body paused between the 2 warships, he was immediately captured by the life detector of the small fighter. However, because Wang Feng's teleportation had spatial attributes, the small red dot that symbolized him only flashed on the life detector of the small fighter and disappeared directly. Although he had just checked one warship and was on the way to check another warship, the pilot of this small fighter did not relax his vigilance and kept staring at the life detector. It was also Wang Feng's bad luck. This cosmic ghost had just joined the army. If it was an old hand in the army, they basically knew that this kind of inspection was just a formality, especially now that they were still in the Endless Tower. There were no other races except the human race. Although the human race had caused heavy damage to their fleet before, the cosmic ghost was actually still not so afraid of the human race. In their eyes, there were less than 10 races on the original star that they thought could match them, but these races did not include the human race. So if the pilot of this small fighter plane was any other cosmic ghost, he would be distracted even when checking the space battleships, let alone now. However, this cosmic ghost seemed very serious because it was his first mission. After discovering the red dot, the cosmic ghost was stunned, because the red dot disappeared immediately, because Wang Feng only paused in the air for about 0.3 seconds, and then teleported again. During the teleportation process, Wang Feng was traveling through space, so the life detector certainly could not capture him. Did you see it? The cosmic ghost quickly pointed at the life detector and asked the guy behind him. The cosmic ghost behind him happened to be an old soldier, who was sitting in the back and looking at his palms boredly, as if studying his palm lines. What did you see? Hearing the question from the new recruit in front, the old soldier did not even raise his head, still concentrating on looking at the palm lines of his hands, and answered carelessly. I just saw a life signal from an alien race here. The new soldier did not back down because of the old soldier's attitude, and still said stubbornly. I think we should sound the alarm. Although the life signal only flashed and disappeared, I am sure I was not wrong. Life signal from an alien race. The new soldier's words finally made the old soldier shift his attention from his hands to the life detector, but of course he did not find anything, so he looked up and looked outside again. Maybe the instrument is malfunctioning? This is our base camp. Even the Zhanda, who is known as the Son of God, is not the sub-race, it is impossible for one person to come here? Besides, we are now in the Endless Tower, there are only human races, no other races will appear. Do you think the human race dare to rush to our nest alone? It can't be an instrument failure. I am definitely not wrong. If there are only human races here, then there must be a human race that has just appeared. The new soldier did not accept the old soldier's explanation, and still insisted. I think we should report it to the higher UPS. Because it was his first mission, so in this small fighter, the old soldier was the main one. If he wanted to report it, he needed the old soldier's consent. Come on. If we report it, it will definitely alert the guards. If they come over and don't find anything, both of us will be punished. The old soldier shook his head and refused without thinking. Seeing the veteran's refusal, the new recruit hesitated for a moment, then gritted his teeth and directly opened the communication of the small fighter. 2018 Calling the escort team, my life detector found traces of the human race. Did these two space battleships fight with the human race before returning? Due to the authority, the new recruit did not know that Brewster and his men had fought with Wang Feng before. They were just here for routine inspections. There had been fleets coming back for supplies before, so they did not know that the two space fleets came back to report the situation, not to replenish energy. However, just because they didn't know didn't mean the escort team didn't know. Therefore, after hearing this worrying report, the escort team's warships immediately took action, and immediately, under the order of the escort team, the fleets of Brewster and Dapper changed their formations directly, surrounding them with the space battleships around the small fighter plane that sent the communication as the center of the circle. The escort team's warships were on the outer periphery, surrounding all the space battleships of the two fleets. Among the Space Ghost clan, the Guard has the second most power after the Senate, because they are responsible for the security of the entire headquarters and are directly under the jurisdiction of the Senate. Before, it was said that Dapper was the first fleet of the Space Ghost, because this escort team that never went out was not counted. If it was simply compared in terms of combat power, this escort team with only 5,000 large flagship space battleships was the most powerful fleet of the Space Ghost. Under the siege of the escort team, both the battleships of the Dapper fleet and the Brewster fleet were arranged in formation according to the orders of the escort team, and none of them turned on the energy shield. These captains all knew that the orders of the escort team had a higher priority than their fleet commanders, that is, if the escort team and their fleet commander issued two different orders at the same time, then they had to execute the orders of the escort team. Because the orders of the escort team were actually the orders of the elders. As the actual controller of the Space Ghost clan, the elders naturally had the highest power, and the escort team was equivalent to their spokesperson. Basically, even an ordinary member of the escort team, other space fleet commanders dared not offend easily. Seeing this scene, the old soldier who had talked to the recruit before turned pale, because this recruit obviously exceeded his authority to report, and the most important thing was that he had the greatest responsibility in this matter. Because according to the regulations, he should be the one sitting in the driving seat, monitoring the life detector, but he let this recruit do it for laziness. He originally thought it was just a routine matter. Who would have thought that this recruit was so bold that he dared to report directly without his consent, and it was directly connected to the communication channel of the escort team. This is miserable. He can only pray that the human race that the recruit mentioned before really exists. Otherwise, once the escort team finds out that it was just a false alarm, both of them will be in trouble and their lives will probably be lost. 2018. What's your name? And where did you find the traces of the human race just now? At this time, the escort team directly connected to the communicator of the recruit's small fighter and began to ask, because they had already made arrangements and these space battleships did not find any abnormalities. Report. My name is Dabo Lugo. The coordinates of the human race were found at 15,672, 83,491. His appearance lasted less than half a second, but I am absolutely sure that I am not wrong. The recruit Dabo Lugo answered immediately. Hearing Dabo Lugo's words, the old soldier behind him wanted to die. You said that the life signal of the human race you found was less than half a second. You still dare to swear that you must be right? If the tone was a little hesitant now, for example, he seemed to have seen traces of the human race, but he was not sure, so he reported it and asked the guard team to make a decision. In this way, if it was really found to be a false alarm, he would have a way out. Now, he just asked for a coordinate, and this idiot blocked his own way out. As soon as this sentence was said, if they couldn't find the traces of the human race, they would definitely die, without any suspense. However, although the old soldier of the universe ghost was terrified when he heard it from behind, the guard team strangely did not think that what Dabo Lugo said was a bit too fantastic. In fact, the normal thinking was the same. No matter what kind of life form, it is impossible for it to be captured by the life detector and disappear in less than half a second. Unless the life form was killed, otherwise, no matter how fast it was, the life detector would definitely be able to capture its movement trajectory. However, the guards knew that there were powerful people who controlled space power among the human race. Therefore, from Davolo's description, they were almost certain that the red dot Davolo saw must be the powerful person with space power of the human race, and he really came to their headquarters. Doomsday Special Forces. Author, Huanjing Chengzhu. Chapter 1134. After hearing what Dopero said, the escort team connected directly to Dopero's small fighter without saying anything and retrieved his previous detection records. Because they were the escort team, they did not even need to go through Dopero to retrieve the detection records of the small fighter. Time. After opening the detection records of Dopero's small fighter, the commander on the frigate asked Dopero again because they had checked many space battleships. Dopero did not hesitate at all. He knew that this time was the time when he discovered the human race, and answered directly. 18 minutes and 45 seconds. When the commander of the frigate played back the video to the time Dopero said, he saw a red dot flashing, so he nodded. Dopero was really serious. He was able to find it in such a short time. This shows that during the inspection, his eyes never left the detector screen. In fact, the guards also knew that most of the guys who checked the space battleships were perfunctory, but because they also thought that nothing would happen here, they ignored it. Now it seems that they will have to give these guys a lesson in the future. Immediately order all battleships to turn on their life detectors immediately. If they find other races of life, report them immediately. No mistakes. The commander of the guards directly ordered the several space ghosts behind him. He didn't even ask the elders. As the supreme commander of the guards, he has the right to take some necessary measures when he feels that the headquarters is threatened. Understood. The space ghosts behind him nodded together, and then began to operate the console in front of them. The location of the red dot before was easy to confirm, but now the human race must be gone. Because according to the time when the human race appeared before, it has been a few minutes now. A few minutes seems short, but for the human race that can travel through space, it is even enough for him to enter the elders. However, the commander of the escort team was not worried about the Elders' Council, because he knew that the building of the Elders' Council was the most heavily defended building of their cosmic ghost clan. Not to mention a human, even an ant could not enter without permission. Even if it was a cosmic ghost that had not been registered with the Elders' Council, if it rashly entered the scope of the Elders' Council, it would be directly killed by the defensive weapons, so if the human dared to appear in the Elders' Council, he would definitely be discovered immediately, and there would be no possibility of escape. However, despite the orders of the escort team, all the Space Ghost warships have turned on the life detectors, and even those small fighters have all started up, shuttling among the space warships, searching for the traces of the human race, but after 10 minutes, they still have no discovery, and the human race seems to have directly entered another space. Dabo, drive your small fighter and enter my warship. The commander of the escort team was not surprised to see that the human race was not found. He also knew that it would be difficult to find a strong man with space-related abilities if he wanted to hide. Even those small fighters are now afraid to be as negligent as before, and it is not so easy to find the human race. So after reporting the situation to the elders, the commander of the escort team directly called Dabo, who was the first to discover the human race, to his front, because the elders might ask him some questions later, so it is better for him to call this guy to his side first. When Daparo and the Space Ghost veteran who was in a small fighter plane with him stood in front of the captain of the guard, the captain of the guard looked at the two guys. He had no impression of the two space ghosts at all, because they were just ordinary soldiers, and their status was far from that of the guard. "Who is Daparo?" the captain of the guard asked softly. "Report." "I am Daparo." Daparo saluted and answered nervously. "Huh? New recruit?" The captain of the guard was obviously surprised, then looked at the veteran next to him, frowned, thought for a while, and then asked softly. "He just reported an abnormality, did you agree?" "Report." "No." The veteran quickly saluted, and then immediately denied it. "Just kidding, now the matter has obviously become a big deal, and all the warships have turned on the life detectors, but still haven't found the human race. It seems that the commander of the escort team wants to find a poor guy to vent his anger, so he quickly told everything that happened before, even the fact that he was lazy and let the recruits drive small fighters. He poured out everything without leaving out a single thing. "I know. You can leave." The commander of the escort team nodded, and then signaled the old soldier to leave. When the old soldier turned and left, the commander of the escort team looked at Dabo. Just as he was about to speak, the communicator behind him suddenly rang. "Luke. According to what Brewster and Dapper said, and the information you just provided, we can confirm that there is indeed a human race coming to us. He should have come here in the space fleet of these two idiots. This guy is very dangerous, so, do your best to find him and kill him. Remember, he has space powers, so don't try to capture him alive, we just want to die." As soon as the communicator rang, the commander of the escort immediately turned around and faced the communicator, because Luke was exactly his name, and among the ghosts of the universe, only those few old antiques dared to call him by his name without adding any title. No one else dares to do this. "Yes. I understand." After the command from the communicator was finished, the escort commander Luke stood at attention and answered loudly. Then, he looked up at the space battleships outside the front porthole, and then looked back at Deblo. "It seems that the Senate has no intention of asking Deblo, but this guy is very serious and can consider staying in the guard. However, although as the commander of the guard, Luke wants to add someone to the guard. It is very easy to join the team, but Deblo must first pass the review of the Council of Elders and verify Deblo's life experience. Obviously now is not the best time to do this, but there is no problem in letting him stay in his flagship first. Dabo. Where do you think that human race is hiding now? Is it on the ground below us? Or in our city?" Luke looked at Deblo and suddenly asked him this question. Even Luke didn't know why he wanted to ask such a difficult question to a recruit. Maybe it was because he was not sure yet, so I asked subconsciously. "Sir, I think." Deblo stood at attention and spoke loudly, but after speaking halfway, he suddenly hesitated and looked at Luke looking a little hesitant. "Say whatever comes to mind." Luke frowned. "Yes." Deblo stood at attention again, then pointed to the space battleships outside and said, "I think that human race should have run away. Nearly 10 minutes have passed since the time I discovered him before. When I discovered him, he should have been on the cosmic ship I was about to inspect. Among the battleships, and then while I was heading towards his battleship, I took the risk to fly past our small fighter plane and arrived at the battleship I had inspected before. After that, I reported the discovery of him, and then our space fleet began to change its formation. In the process, the human race had enough time to leave our fleet. It is unlikely that he will run to the ground. It is estimated that the height of our battleship from the ground exceeds the distance that his special ability can move. Otherwise, he should have hidden directly on the ground before, and no need to risk flying past my fighter plane. As for our city, although only the building complex where the Elders' Council is located has the strongest defense, the human race should not know this. Besides, he has just come to us and will not enter us directly so rashly. City. So I guess that during the time when we changed formations, he had already used the cover of our battleships to leave directly. Now he should be hiding around our city and observing us. Hearing Deblo's words, Luke turned his head and looked outside, without saying anything directly, because this Deblo unintentionally offended Luke, because he was the one who just ordered the space battleships to change their formations. And Deblo actually directly said that the human race took advantage of this opportunity to escape. Luke now began to consider whether to keep this dumb guy in his escort. However, if Wang Feng hears Deblo's words, he will definitely sneer at him, because Wang Feng is now hidden in the city of cosmic ghosts, and it is still above the city. In fact, what Deblo said was not entirely wrong, at least the first part was right. Wang Feng took advantage of the space battleship's change of formation to sneak into their city. Because as soon as the Space Ghost fleet made a move, Wang Feng knew that he should have been exposed, and naturally he would not stay there waiting to die. So when the space battleship changed its formation, Wang Feng teleported first and moved to the final position. In a space battleship below, he took out his own small fighter plane directly below it. Doomsday Special Forces. Author, Huanjing Chengzhu. Chapter 1135. As soon as he took out the small fighter plane, Wang Feng teleported in directly, ignoring Qiu Jian and others who were a little dazed because they had just come out of the Xianyuan space, and directly turned on the invisibility system. Since at this time, the escort had just ordered the two fleets of Dapra and Brewster to change their formations, all the warships were busy adjusting their positions, and the small fighters appeared for a short time, so when Wang Feng took out the small fighter plane and made it invisible, he was not discovered by the cosmic ghost. After Wang Feng made the small fighter invisible, he carefully started the fighter and slowly flew out of the battleship group. Also, because the space battleships were also moving, the energy fluctuations caused by the small fighter when flying could be basically ignored. Originally, Wang Feng planned to stay away first and observe the situation here from a safe position, but after thinking about it, Wang Feng simply flew the small fighter plane to the edge of the Cosmic Ghost City. Because in the entire city of Cosmic Ghost, only the buildings in the central area have energy shields, Wang Feng feels that as long as he flies a little higher, there should be no problem. When Wang Feng came to the sky above the Cosmic Ghost City, the escort team of the Cosmic Ghost began to issue orders for all space battleships to turn on their life detectors. At this time, Wang Feng had already left their detection range. So of course they did a useless job. So what Deblo said is actually correct. It was the order given by the escort to change formations that gave Wang Feng a chance to leave. Otherwise, even if he could avoid the sight of the space ghosts and take out the small fighter planes and the stealth system was turned on, but he absolutely did not dare to launch small fighters and leave the battleship group. Because all space battleships were stationary at that time, once Wang Feng's small fighter jet started, the fluctuations in its capabilities would be detected by the shipboard radar of the Space Ghost battleship. And being unable to move, staying among the battleships of the Cosmic Ghost is undoubtedly not a good idea, because once the battleships of the Cosmic Ghost move and pass through the area of small fighters, they will hit the small fighters. After all, the invisible state cannot make small fighters. The fighter jets truly disappeared. It's just that because Deblo didn't know that the human race actually had small fighters that could be invisible, and that there was room to hide small fighters, Deblo's speculation was that Wang Feng was alone and could only rely on it was assumed based on the premise that I teleported to avoid them, so there was a relatively large error. Looking at the majestic city below and the densely packed space battleships in the sky, Qiu Jian, Xiao Wu, and others were startled. Even the instructor Li Yingning had a look of surprise in his eyes. He looked at Wang Feng and said even he didn't expect that Wang Feng actually found the home of the cosmic ghost, and successfully passed the blockade of those space battleships, and came directly to the sky above the cosmic ghost city. Damn it! Brother Feng! You are so fierce. After confirming that he was inside the invisible small fighter plane, Xiao Wu couldn't help but said. Is this the lair of the space ghost down here? You really came as soon as you asked. Put us down quickly, and let's go and get their lair. Don't worry. Let's check the situation first. Wang Feng shook his head and said, now they can be said to be safe for the time being, because those space battleships, after failing to find him, actually changed their formation again and lined up in the sky at the edge of the city, seeming to be on guard to prevent them from entering. City average. In other words, the cosmic ghosts should have thought that they were outside, and had never thought that they were behind them and above their city. In this case, they did not need to worry, because if they wanted to take action, they might. There is only one chance. That should be the most important place of the cosmic ghost, just like the clubhouse of our Hope base. Wang Feng pointed to the building complex covered by the energy shield in the distance and said. Have you seen the color of their energy shield? It's a bit different from a shield that simply resists energy supply, so I think there must be something wrong with this energy shield. We can't just fly a small fighter plane in. How about, land the small fighter plane and let us enter from the ground? Xiao Wu looked at the building complex and said hesitantly. No. What I mean is that this energy shield should be the kind with identification. No matter where we enter, as long as we enter the range where the shield can be connected, we will be discovered by them. Wang Feng still shook his head and spoke out his guess, and his guess was indeed not much different from the facts. The energy shield did have the function of identity verification. Once the life form was not registered by the Elder Council, if you pass through the energy shield, you will be immediately discovered by them and will be attacked immediately, even the cosmic ghost is no exception. Then what should we do? Are we causing trouble outside now? Qiu Jian asked from the side. The boy looked at the cosmic ghosts in the city below and his hands were already itching. No need to do anything first, just wait. Wang Feng lay down directly and said. We should be safe here now, because they think I'm still outside, so we'll wait here until the energy shield of that building complex is turned off. For such a large building complex, their energy shield should not be turned on all the time, at least it will be reduced in scope. When that time comes, it's time for us to start acting. I'll take a break first, I'm so tired just now, you guys keep an eye on it, and call me if there's anything. Feng. How did you get in just now? Seeing Wang Feng lying down, Lu Wanting went directly to his head, squatted gently, stretched out her hand to help him massage his head and shoulders, and asked casually. It's nothing. Wang Feng closed his eyes, while enjoying Lu Wanting's service, he told everything that happened before, and because there was nothing to do now anyway, Wang Feng deliberately told it in detail. In the small fighter plane, Xiao Wu and Qiu Jian also surrounded Wang Feng, listening to Wang Feng's story with relish, while Shalumi San Xiao was watching the movement outside seriously, and the instructor was resting with his eyes closed. As for Qingxun and Qian, they continued to be affectionate with each other. These two people who have become zombies don't seem to be affected by their scary appearance. They stay together all day, just like boys and girls in love. It's just because of their appearance that this originally warm and romantic scene seems a little weird. But the two of them never care about other people's eyes, especially now, Qiu Jian and Xiao Wu have long been accustomed to their characteristics of showing off their love everywhere, and simply ignore them. Especially in this small fighter plane, it seems that the only pure humans are Wang Feng, Lu Wanting and Qiu Jian, accounting for less than 1/3. Then the three children of the Kali tribe, Xiao Wu, Qianxuan, and Qian, three zombie humans, plus an instructor of the Devourer race, 10 people from 4 different races, and these 10 people belong to a team. Such a weird combination is probably not seen anywhere else, even in the secondary universe, it is unlikely to happen. Therefore, even if there are strange things in this small fighter, no one will care, because these people are originally very abnormal. They are moving. Just when Wang Feng had finished telling all his previous experiences and started chatting casually with Lu Wanting and Xiao Wu Qiujian, Wang Mi, who was in charge of vigilance, suddenly spoke. Wang Feng quickly got up and then looked outside. He found that there were indeed new changes outside. It seemed that after searching a large area outside, he still couldn't find him, so those cosmic ghosts began to move their search area to the city. However, all the fighters that entered the city to search were small fighters. Those space battleships were still on alert at the edge of the city. They were probably afraid that the human race was still hiding in their space battleships. Once they came in, the human race would have the opportunity to enter their city. Although their shipborne life detectors and the life detectors of the small fighters did not find any creatures that did not belong to the space ghosts on those battleships, they were still worried, fearing that the human race had the ability to shield their life energy. However, this action of the space ghost had no effect on Wang Feng and his men, because they were not in the city now, but above the city, and Wang Feng deliberately raised the height of the small fighter a lot, so they still couldn't find Wang Feng. However, although they couldn't find Wang Feng, it was basically impossible for Wang Feng to sneak into the building complex he wanted to enter, because the energy shield of that building complex was not opened because of his arrival, as Wang Feng imagined, but had always existed since he knew that the human race had come to this level. Furthermore, because the energy reserves of the cosmic ghost are quite abundant, it is impossible to cancel this energy shield before completely destroying the human race. If Wang Feng and his group want to enter the Elders' Council without being noticed, I am afraid that they simply cannot do it. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Doomsday Special Forces. Author, Huanjing Chengzhu. Chapter 1136. However, Wang Feng and the others were of course unaware of this situation, so they watched the cosmic ghosts searching the city while waiting for them to think that they had left because they could not find them, and to close the Elders Association. Energy Shield. However, as time passed, and after 3 days, the cosmic ghosts finally gave up the search, but Wang Feng and the others did not see the scene they wanted to see. The energy shield, let alone being closed, shows no signs of shrinking. Holy shit. These guys are so wasteful. Such a large building has been supporting an energy shield. How much energy does it consume? Xiao Wu looked at the energy shield a little depressed and said. The Cosmic Ghost Clan has always used robbery as a means of development, so their energy reserves must be beyond our imagination. This consumption is basically negligible for them. Wang Mi, who rarely spoke, said that the Kali tribe knew quite a bit about the race of cosmic ghosts. Wait a little longer. Wang Feng also spoke at this time. Now it may be because they are not sure that we have left. When Lao Lu and the others take action, things will probably turn around. We don't need to worry. After hearing Wang Feng's words, everyone nodded, because there is really no other way now but to wait. 3 more days later, the Space Ghost fleet suddenly made some movement. The 2 space fleets of Dapra and Brewster, which had been staying at the headquarters since their return, suddenly took action and were directly organized. A team, leaving towards the distance. Did our people take action? Xiao Wu asked as he looked at the departing space ghost fleet. Definitely. Wang Feng nodded and said. The two fleets that left have merged. If they were out searching, they would have separated, and they wouldn't be in such a hurry. Our warship must have appeared. They got the news and went to intercept it? After this period of observation, Wang Feng and the others have naturally made some judgments about the space battleships floating above the space ghost city. However, Wang Feng still did not dare to go down easily to the city below. Although he had the ability to teleport, and even Sang Xiao had the ability to sneak, they still did not leave the small fighter plane and went into the city below to conduct reconnaissance. This was mainly because Wang Feng was afraid that if an accident was discovered, he would alert the snake and make the universe the ghosts are even more vigilant, and if they never close that energy shield again, they will be in trouble. If Wang Feng knew that no matter what, the energy shield would never be closed, he would have taken San Xioxia to the city for a good stroll. But it's no wonder that apart from those they captured as food, no race can find the outer universe headquarters of the cosmic ghost by relying on their own abilities. Therefore, the situation inside the cosmic ghost headquarters naturally has no one can understand. Even the Council of Elders of the cosmic ghosts has always been known only to the cosmic ghosts themselves. Other races simply don't know the power structure of the cosmic ghosts. The day after the two space fleets left, Wang Feng finally couldn't wait any longer, because the energy shield still had not changed at all. Even if it shrank by a circle, for Wang Feng and the others, it was at least a little bit smaller. Comfort. Forget it. Don't wait any longer. Wang Feng stood up, looked at the energy shield that had not changed and said. I'll go down and take a look. Wang Mi, the three of you also go around the city to see if you can get any useful information. Remember not to be discovered by the cosmic ghost, let alone touch the energy shield, try to enter that area. Got it? After hearing Wang Feng's words, Wang Mi looked at Wang Feng and nodded. Then, Wang Feng piloted a small fighter plane and began to land quietly. Because there were no space ghost battleships around them at their current location, they were not afraid that the energy fluctuations emitted by the small fighter planes would be detected. When the small fighter planes came to a relatively remote corner, Wang Feng made an agreement with Killer Sang Xiao. After meeting the place and time, the three young men killed left the small fighter plane. Afterwards, Wang Feng drove the small fighter plane far away from where the three small fighters were released, and parked the fighter plane next to a building. After using the life detector to confirm the location of the creatures in the building, Wang Feng the Wind teleported directly and entered the building. Just when Lu Wanting, who took over the piloting of the small fighter plane, was about to launch the small fighter plane into the air, Instructor Li Yingning suddenly said, "Get the fighter plane there." Lu Wanting was stunned for a moment, then looked at the direction pointed by the instructor, hesitated for a moment, and then followed the instructor's order to fly the small fighter plane to the location mentioned by the instructor. "I'll go down too. You don't need to pay attention to me, I will wait for them at the place they agreed on." After the instructor left a few words, he opened the door of the small fighter plane and jumped out of the small fighter plane. Li Yingning's actions shocked the people in the fighter plane. However, they were in the city now and did not dare to shout. Moreover, the instructor Li Yingning had already left, so they had no choice. "I'll go down too," Qiu Jian said. "Need not." Lu Wanting looked at the instructor who had jumped off the fighter plane and disappeared into a building and said, "You don't have any ability to hide. After you go down, you will definitely be discovered, which will ruin Feng's plan." Then, the instructor doesn't have any ability to hide, right? Qiu Jian looked down, but didn't find the instructor. "Don't forget your identity as an instructor." Lu Wanting suddenly smiled, and then while driving the small fighter plane into the air, he said, "The instructor is a devourer, his body can change at will, and he originally has the genes of the cosmic ghost in his body, so, in the city of the cosmic ghost, his ability to hide should be no worse than that of the three little killers. Hearing Lu Wanting's words, Qiujian and Xiao Wu suddenly realized, yes. Instructor Li Yingning is a devourer, and his body shape can change at any time, but it may be due to habit. The instructor has always shown himself as a human, and even his appearance has never changed. After getting the body of number 7, Instructor Li Yingning always appeared in front of everyone as number 7, so they all ignored the instructor's ability. It can be said that the instructor is indeed the most suitable creature for disguise in the world. Especially now that they are still in the city of the cosmic ghost, the instructor's body originally has the genes of the cosmic ghost, and even the way of absorbing energy is the same as the cosmic ghost. In this regard, all the people on the small fighter plane cannot compare with it. If you really compare, in fact, even the cosmic ghost will not have such a powerful ability as the devourer, although the devourer race, strictly speaking, should be regarded as a creature created by the cosmic ghost. Although it was the Tai Emperor Xianyuan who created the devourer clan, Xianyuan used the resources and technology of the cosmic ghost after all. And when Wang Feng was in the secondary universe, it has been confirmed that even if Xianyuan did not go undercover in the cosmic ghost, the devourer creature would still be created by other cosmic ghosts. The devourer race may have used the genes of the Namekians, the human race, and the cosmic ghosts, so their strength is actually far beyond the cosmic ghosts. They basically have the abilities of the cosmic ghosts, but they do not have the weaknesses of the cosmic ghosts. The body structure of the cosmic ghosts is similar to that of humans, and they also have fatal points, and they are fixed, just like the human head or heart. Although the devourer has the weakness of the consciousness core, his consciousness core can be moved at will. And the devourer can change his appearance, even his appearance, but the cosmic ghost does not have this ability, and as long as the devourer has enough life energy, he can almost be said to be immortal. In this regard, the cosmic ghost is also very different from the devourer. To be honest, it seems a bit unreasonable that the life created by a life race is much stronger than itself, but the human race on the mother planet has already created only mechanical people, and their strength far exceeds that of humans. There have even been incidents where robots want to enslave humans in turn, but they were eventually completely destroyed by humans. So the relationship between the devourer and the cosmic ghost is very strange. It is not clear how the devourer of the secondary universe views the cosmic ghost. At least the devourer of this universe has no good feelings towards the cosmic ghost. One reason is that they were actually created by the human race Xianyuan, so there are not too many constraints left in the devourer's consciousness. As for the second point, it is naturally the devourer of this universe. There is only one instructor Li Yingning left. Although he does not hate the cosmic ghost as much as Wang Feng and others, at least in the eyes of the instructor, the cosmic ghost is his enemy. Now instructor Li Yingning is standing in front of a cosmic ghost, and his hand has been inserted into the body of the cosmic ghost. In the horrified eyes of the cosmic ghost, he sucked his life energy and devoured his consciousness. Bang! After blowing the dried corpse of the cosmic ghost into pieces and destroying the corpse, instructor Li Yingning turned and walked outside. While walking, his appearance also changed into the cosmic ghost he had just killed. Doomsday Special Forces. Author, Huanjing Chengzhu. Chapter 1137. Instructor Li Yingning can be said to have obtained a legal identity as soon as he entered the city, allowing him to fully integrate into the city of the cosmic ghost, because when he killed the cosmic ghost, he also devoured his consciousness, and thus obtained the memory of the cosmic ghost. Therefore, the instructor's identity as a cosmic ghost at this time can be said to have no flaws. If there is only one flaw, it may be that the cosmic ghost killed by the instructor is just a civilian, so his identity cannot bring much convenience to the instructor. At least, it is definitely impossible for the instructor to enter the energy shield as this cosmic ghost. However, This cosmic ghost is just the first cosmic ghost that the instructor encountered after just entering the city, so he did not intend to choose it at all. In the instructor's view, he just wants to absorb the memory of this cosmic ghost and learn more about the city of the cosmic ghost. As for wanting a higher identity, just kill a few more cosmic ghosts with higher identities. Especially after Li Yingning killed the cosmic ghost and obtained his memory, he became more certain of his own ideas, because the reproduction method of cosmic ghosts is almost the same as that of humans, but among cosmic ghosts, women basically have no status, no matter how high the status of her husband is. This is the tradition of cosmic ghosts. Female cosmic ghosts are just tools for them to reproduce, and their status among cosmic ghosts is only slightly higher than that of other races that are used as food. However, in the memory of that cosmic ghost, there is a problem that makes Li Yingning feel a little tricky, that is, the number of people in the cosmic ghost clan. On the primitive star, if the cosmic ghosts are ranked according to the race with the largest population, the cosmic ghosts must be ranked at the back, and even the number of human races is far greater than it, but this is not because of the fertility of the cosmic ghosts, but because the resources on the primitive star limit their population. Because cosmic ghosts can only feed on other creatures, they cannot afford to support too many people, so on the primitive star, especially when resources begin to run out, cosmic ghosts begin to limit their population. But after arriving in the outer universe, they needed a large number of soldiers because they had to expand. Therefore, after arriving in the outer universe, the population of the cosmic ghosts directly entered a period of blowout. And the lifespan of the cosmic ghosts is much longer than that of the human race, almost infinite life. In this situation where there is only inflow and no outflow, the population of the cosmic ghosts has now reached a very terrifying number, and even the number of wild boars cannot be compared with it. The reason why the cosmic ghost city is so magnificent is not that the cosmic ghosts like the Buri people, who like to show off or for a sense of security, but if there is no such a huge city, they can't accommodate their people at all. And in this city, there are not only the cosmic ghosts, but also many other races. The creatures of these other races are all kept in captivity by the cosmic ghosts as their food source. In this city, there are several areas, which are the living areas specially designated by the cosmic ghosts for these creatures. The cosmic ghosts do not interfere with their lives in them. As long as they regularly contribute a certain number of people to the cosmic ghosts, they can get a quiet life. These people of other races were all plundered by the cosmic ghosts in the outer universe. It must be said that the cosmic ghosts are quite far-sighted. After conquering a race, they will not rush to kill them all, but first look at the reproductive capacity of this race. If the reproductive capacity is strong, they will leave some and send them back to their own city for captivity. In this way, the cosmic ghosts don't have to worry about their food all the time, which is also the most important reason why their population can be surged. And those races that are captive by them, even if they know their situation, have no other way, they can only live in such humiliation, because at least their race still exists, there is still hope, and they are even looking forward to their people on the original star to save them one day. Of course, there are also some more backbone races. After being captive, they did not surrender, but in the city of the cosmic ghost, they are prisoners. At the beginning, they could not beat the cosmic ghosts with weapons and supplies on their own planet, let alone now. Therefore, when several disobedient races were collectively slaughtered in front of other races as a warning, many races fell silent and began to accept their own lives, because they had no choice but to live or die. Because these situations were not confidential, Li Yingning easily obtained them from the memory of the cosmic ghost he killed. After obtaining these situations, Li Yingning immediately felt that these captive races seemed to be able to be used by them. Li Yingning had no psychological burden on using these races. Anyway, their lives were already like this. Even if it was worse, it couldn't be much worse. Therefore, whether it was success or failure, it should be acceptable to them. If they succeed, they will get rid of slavery and become a free race. If they fail, it is estimated that the cosmic ghost will not slaughter them all. After all, they are the food reserves of the cosmic ghost. Just like the owner of a pig farm, they will not, because of if his pigs run away en masse, he will kill them all, because these pigs are his wealth. As food, they are valuable only if they are alive. If they all die, they will soon rot and be no different from garbage. However, if Li Yingning was asked to do this kind of work, it would probably be a bit confusing. After all, the instructor's eloquence was completely inversely proportional to his strength. He was never good at persuading others. If you block my way, I will not persuade you to give way, I will kill you directly. This is the instructor's way of doing things, don't make any noise if you can. Therefore, the instructor felt that Wang Feng should be the one to complete the task of instigating tribesmen of other races. In fact, Duan Lei is the most suitable candidate, but Duan Lei is not here now, so he can only leave it to Wang Feng. Although this guy also prefers to use force to solve things, but at least he is much better than the instructor. It's just that the instructor doesn't know where to find Wang Feng now, and the instructor feels that although Wang Feng cannot directly turn into a cosmic ghost like himself and sneak into the city as a cosmic ghost, his Xianyuan sword will swallow a universe. There is still no problem with the ghost's consciousness, so Wang Feng will soon know about this situation. So Li Yingning simply stopped caring about this matter and just went about his own plans. It can be said that things went quite smoothly on the instructor's side, but on Wang Feng's side, there was not much progress at this time. He also encountered the lone cosmic ghost, but Wang Feng did not take action directly, although he could also pass devouring the consciousness of the cosmic ghost to obtain his memory. Wang Feng did not dare to do it easily without understanding the situation. Wang Feng is different from the instructor. If after killing this cosmic ghost, he knows that his death will not be too concerned about by the cosmic ghost, but if it is the opposite, Wang Feng has no way to remedy it, because he can no longer let that the fact that the cosmic ghost comes back to life is not a problem for the instructor, because after killing the cosmic ghost, the instructor is the cosmic ghost, so naturally there will be no death of the cosmic ghost. In fact, it doesn't matter if Wang Feng takes action now, because Li Yingning has obtained the memory of the cosmic ghost, so he knows that the cosmic ghost does not care much about the life and death of civilians like them because the population is too large. In addition, now that they are in the Endless Tower, they do not need to go out to plunder, and there are no other races for them to plunder, so now the overpopulation has become a burden to the cosmic ghost clan. Unlike the human race, the civilians of the cosmic ghost cannot rely on planting and other methods to feed themselves. Therefore, their food depends entirely on the distribution of the high-level officials of the cosmic ghost. Therefore, the daily lives of these civilians are basically not affected by anything. The higher UPS of cosmic ghost are paying attention, but usually, there are some incidents of killing each other due to hunger. Because the cosmic ghost values the food in captivity, no cosmic ghost is allowed to break into the living areas of other races to hunt for food. It has been found that the intruding cosmic ghost will die miserably, but they will killing each other among the same race is not prohibited. In the view of cosmic ghost, this method can improve the fighting ability of his tribe and make them warriors. Anyway, they have a large number of tribesmen now. As long as these things are not directly exposed to the public eye, it is basically fine. No cosmic ghost will pay attention to it, and this has become an unspoken rule among the cosmic ghost family. Therefore, let alone the cosmic ghost that Li Yingning killed just now, not to mention that he has been impersonated by him, even if he has not turned into his appearance, just throwing the body of the cosmic ghost there will not have any impact, because the way he died seemed to be caused by being drained of his life force. This was obviously a case of cannibalism among the same race. Doomsday Special Forces. Author, Huanjing Chengzhu. Chapter 1138. Wang Feng's killing method can of course be the same as the instructor's, So now Wang Feng and Li Yingning can kill civilians wantonly in the city of the cosmic ghosts. But this cannot lay any foundation for their victory, because the number of cosmic ghosts is too large, and among the crowd, only Wang Feng and Li Yingning can use this method. People like Xu Jian can't achieve this effect at all. And if the dead cosmic ghost is found not to have died at the hands of the same race, then the matter will become serious, because the high-level cosmic ghosts will definitely attribute the death of this cosmic ghost to the human race. At that time, I am afraid that the city will be a different scene, and it is definitely not suitable for Wang Feng and his infiltration. But if they only rely on the two of them to kill, it will take a long time to reach the number of pass, and it may even be calculated in units of hundreds of years, because they can only hide in the dark and kill one by one, and it is impossible to directly start killing. Moreover, if the number of such killings reaches a certain scale, it will also attract the attention of the high-level officials of the cosmic ghost. Therefore, this method is completely impossible without even thinking about it. Wang Feng dodged the cosmic ghost while walking through the building and heading towards the energy shield. Although he did not intend to cross the shield, he still wanted to get close to the shield and study it. Of course, he would not walk openly in the streets of the city like Li Yingning did now. Li Yingning even directly robbed a small personal spaceship of the cosmic ghost to use for himself. As for the original owner of this spaceship, well, that's what Li Yingning looks like now. After understanding the survival rules of the city of the cosmic ghost, Li Yingning is now obviously unscrupulous. Anyway, there will be no problem with the death of civilians before reaching a terrifying number. Li Yingning's way of becoming him after killing a cosmic ghost undoubtedly makes his actions more convenient, and it is equivalent to having a talent of killing one less. This talent may not be a big deal in the later stage, because 10,000 minus 1 is basically the same as 10,000, but at the beginning, it still has a little bit of effect. Wang Feng not only did not kill a single cosmic ghost, he also did not dare to walk on the street, because his image was too different from that of the cosmic ghost. Once discovered, the cosmic ghost would probably be on alert throughout the city. So Wang Feng is now walking through the buildings. Fortunately, although the city is quite large, because the population of cosmic ghosts is too large, the gaps between buildings are not that far, enough for Wang Feng to teleport. And every time Wang Feng teleports, he first uses the life detector to confirm the location of the cosmic ghost in the other building before starting to teleport, so he was not discovered by any cosmic ghost. However, Wang Feng encountered an accident immediately. Just when he was about to cross to the next building, Wang Feng found two life signals in the passage between the two buildings in the life detector, and these two life signals were very strange, constantly intertwining and separating, as if they were fighting. After discovering this situation, Wang Feng directly found a room with a window in the building where he was, and then looked down. There was a passage about 5 meters wide between the two buildings. In the passage, two cosmic ghosts were fighting, and it seemed that this passage was very remote, so there were no other cosmic ghosts watching nearby. And the fight between the two cosmic ghosts made Wang Feng feel very strange, because they didn't seem to be playing around, but seemed to be fighting desperately. But looking at the eyes of the two cosmic ghosts, when they looked at each other, they were only fierce, but not hateful. What is this situation? If you want to kill the other party, your eyes shouldn't be like this, right? Or is it that the personality of the cosmic ghost is strange? Wang Feng shook his head secretly, but decided to watch it, at least to see the result. Wang Feng certainly didn't know that there was no hatred between the two cosmic ghosts, but one of the cosmic ghosts wanted to ambush the other cosmic ghost and use him as food. However, the other cosmic ghost was obviously also an old hand at hunting its own kind, so it did not succeed in being ambushed by the guy who ambushed it, but instead launched a counterattack. At present, it is unclear who is the hunter and who is the prey between the two cosmic ghosts, but at least, they both regard their opponents as food. Have you ever seen anyone staring at his food with hatred? Or has anyone ever told you that he has a deep hatred with pigs? Of course not, so the two cosmic ghosts wanted to kill each other just because they wanted to have a full meal. So, Wang Feng, who did not understand the situation, hid in the building and watched quietly, while guessing their motives for fighting, but soon Wang Feng did not plan to continue thinking, because before he could come up with any reason, the battle over there was over. The cosmic ghost who died was the one who wanted to ambush his own kind in the first place. However, it was obvious that the person he ambushed was a veteran in this way and had far more combat experience than him. Therefore, due to an oversight, he was directly killed. The back of the head was smashed, and then all the life force was sucked out. Seeing the victorious cosmic ghost absorbing the vitality of his own kind with a face full of intoxication, Wang Feng couldn't help but frown. Although the way of eating was different, Wang Feng still knew that this cosmic ghost was actually eating himself. Of the same race, Wang Feng has always been quite resistant to cannibalism, but this is the cosmic ghost in front of him. Obviously Wang Feng has no need to go out to punish him or remind him, so Wang Feng does not take any action and is still waiting for that guy leave. This victor, after sucking all the life force out of his own race, casually threw the withered corpse aside, turned around and left, because he knew that he didn't need to care about this corpse at all, even if it doesn't matter if the previous battle was seen by other space ghosts. As long as he doesn't brazenly kill others of his own kind when many of his own kind are present, it's fine. Especially this time, this rookie took the initiative to sneak attack on him. Even if he was in a busy city, nothing would happen to him. But this guy didn't know that this habitual action of his had directly loosened his own life, because if he had carefully handled the corpse without leaving any trace after absorbing the life energy of his own race, maybe Wang Feng still has some scruples and doesn't dare to take action. But when he saw that the cosmic ghost didn't care about the body of the dead cosmic ghost at all, Wang Feng, who was originally planning to wait for the cosmic ghost to leave before continuing his teleportation, was suddenly startled, and then looked outside after confirming that no one should be paying attention here. He disappeared directly. The moment Wang Feng disappeared, his figure appeared behind the winner. Then, Wang Feng grabbed the unsuspecting cosmic ghost, and then the two of them disappeared together. Wang Feng, who returned to his previous position with the cosmic ghost, took out the Xianyuan sword in his hand the moment the figure reappeared, killed the cosmic ghost, and directly swallowed his consciousness. After closing his eyes and carefully checking the memory of this cosmic ghost, Wang Feng opened his eyes and shook his head violently. Holy crap! So that's it? Then didn't I lose money before? Looking at the withered corpse lying on the ground, Wang Feng looked annoyed. It turns out, the security of your cosmic ghosts is more chaotic than that of our human race. Is it similar to our apocalyptic period? Thank you for being so cautious. Well, but those races that you raise as pigs, it seems possible to communicate with them. He directly waved his hand and took the body of the cosmic ghost into Xianyuan space. After destroying the body and eliminating all traces, Wang Feng did not continue his actions. Instead, he sat in the empty room and thought quietly. The cosmic ghost he killed knew more than the two cosmic ghosts killed by instructor Li Yingning, because this guy was actually a dark hunter. The cosmic ghosts collectively refer to those who make a living by hunting their own clan members as dark hunters. Although most of the cosmic ghosts will transform into such dark hunters when they encounter the right opportunity, Wang was the person Feng killed was dedicated to this kind of profession. They kept wandering around the city every day, and specifically selected secluded corners like the passage in front of them, searching for tribesmen they could hunt. Therefore, what this guy knows is naturally richer. At least, he knows almost all the racial enclosures in the city, because the entire city has been visited by this guy. Moreover, the death of such a dark hunter will not attract the attention of any cosmic ghost at all, because the dark hunters have no relatives or friends and wander alone in dark corners. Therefore, Wang Feng directly put away his body. Although the time he appeared in the passage was quite short, and he also felt that he should not have been discovered by other cosmic ghosts, if someone saw it and still discovered it here, if you find the body of this Dark Hunter, it might cause trouble. So it's better to just let him disappear. Anyway, the Dark Hunters don't communicate with any of their own kind. Even if someone saw the previous scene, but couldn't find any bodies, there was no way to confirm it. This way, Wang Feng felt safer. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Doomsday Special Forces. Author, Huanjing Chengzhu. Chapter 1139. Wang Feng sat on the floor and carefully checked the memory of this Dark Hunter. In his memory, he selected the appropriate captive races. Although he knew that these races were raised as food like pigs, Wang Feng did not dare to contact any race casually. Because some races might have been accustomed to this kind of life. If he contacted them, they might be used as bargaining chips to please their masters and sell him out. Therefore, Wang Feng had to choose carefully. Fortunately, Wang Feng and his team had already passed through 5,000 floors in the Endless Tower. With the information provided by the Phantom Clan, Wang Feng now had a general understanding of the intelligent races on the primitive star. Even if he did not have such a good memory, at least his personal terminal in Xianyuan space could help him recall them. After looking up all the captive races in the memory of this universe ghost Dark Hunter and making a list with his personal terminal, Wang Feng quietly selected them. In fact, this is also very easy to choose, because you only need to choose from some previously powerful races. Generally speaking, powerful races must be unwilling to be enslaved, but they have to endure humiliation and live in hiding due to environmental constraints. Once they are given an opportunity, they will definitely seize it. As for those originally weak races, even those with a strong slave mentality, forget it, the risk is too great. For example, even in the primitive star, the pig-headed people have always been the lowest level race kept in captivity by other races. If you want to win them over, it would be better to directly find the cosmic ghost to surrender. Anyway, the result is estimated to be the same. Moreover, among these captive races, there are actually hundreds of races that Wang Feng and his team had encountered in the Endless Tower before. However, they should not know what happened in the Endless Tower because they were captured and captive by the cosmic ghost in the outer universe. Therefore, when they entered the Endless Tower, they were assumed to be the property of the cosmic ghost. Therefore, not only were they not directly teleported back to the floor where their own races were, but even the prompting sound would not sound in their consciousness. In this case, the previous war with their races should not affect Wang Feng's plan to unite with them. Because Wang Feng felt that he had to mobilize these races. After all, only these 10 people had entered the city of the cosmic ghost, and only he and the 3 little ones of Shalumi could really enter the city. Others could only hide on small fighter planes. Now Wang Feng didn't know that instructor Li Yingning had also entered the city, because Li Yingning suddenly thought of it after Wang Feng left, so he didn't notify him in advance. It wasn't that he deliberately hid it from Wang Feng. Besides, Wang Feng never stopped or opposed what the instructor wanted to do. If they only relied on their few people, it would not be so easy to do something in such a huge city as Universe Ghost. In fact, there are quite a few captive races, because the standard for Universe Ghost to decide whether to captive a race has nothing to do with the strength of that race. They just look at whether the reproduction speed of that race is worth their captivity, because no matter which race it is, it's just food for them, and as long as it has vitality, Universe Ghost has no taboos in terms of food, and never picky about food. Whether it's a pig-headed man or a Bure people, for them, there is no difference at all. Anyway, they don't taste good, as long as there is life energy to absorb. So now in the city of Universe Ghost, there are tens of billions of people from other races. Once these people gather together, it will be a huge force. However, it is unlikely to mobilize all of them, but as long as there is 1/3 or even 1/10, it will be a help for Wang Feng and his team. Even if they just create some chaos, so that Wang Feng can find an opportunity to enter the energy shield. Because the energy shield is different from the walls of these buildings, although Wang Feng can enter the energy shield through teleportation, he will definitely be sensed by the energy shield. Teleportation is to break through space for short-distance transmission, and the energy shield is used to defend against energy attacks, so it is extremely sensitive to energy fluctuations. When teleporting breaks through space, a spatial energy fluctuation will definitely be generated, and the energy shield completely covers the entire space, so the spatial energy fluctuations that appear in this space cannot escape the detection of the energy shield. This is the real reason why Wang Feng dared not enter the energy shield easily. Otherwise, even if the energy shield has the ability of identity verification, as long as Wang Feng does not touch it, can't he just teleport in? And it is obvious that it is the most important position of the cosmic ghost. Wang Feng does not know the defense and other things inside. Of course, it is impossible for him to rush in rashly. Looking at his personal terminal, Wang Feng finally determined a captive area. Among the captive areas scattered in the city, not every captive area has only one race, because the cosmic ghosts are now staying. There are more than 3,000 races in captivity. It would be really troublesome and inconvenient to manage each race in an area. So cosmic ghosts simply kept some races with similar body shapes together, and also asked these races to supervise each other. Once that race finds that other races want to do something detrimental to Cosmic Ghost, they can report it directly to Cosmic Ghost. If it is verified to be true, then half of the people of this reporting race's attacks will be borne by the reporting race. In this way, it greatly facilitates the management of Cosmic Ghost, especially those races that are kept in captivity. They are not familiar with each other and naturally do not have any trust in each other. Coupled with this method of Cosmic Ghost, this invisibly adds a kind of hostility between these races, which makes it impossible for them to unite with each other and do anything secretly. However, this obviously caused a problem for Wang Feng's upcoming plan. Fortunately, Wang Feng was already in the middle and saw a breakthrough, that is, he found a person in the memory of the Cosmic Ghost. A more familiar race, the Kali tribe. Now, the blue-eyed old man and the red and blue helmet of the Kali tribe are in the defensive fortress of the human race, but the killing of the three little ones is on his side. He could definitely find the third killer, then let them sneak in and contact his own tribe, and then just let the Kali tribe do the rest secretly. After all, the human race and the Kali tribe are now considered allies. Although I don't know where these Kali tribesmen were captured from, they are all Kali tribesmen after all, regardless of whether they were in the Devourer's nest when they attacked the Kali tribe's mother nest. Whether he was captured at the star or captured by the Cosmic Ghost in person elsewhere, they should be able to determine the identity of killer Sangxiao. Although Sangxiao and the others have changed in size, they are still members of the Kali tribe. Asking Sangxiao and the others to contact them will naturally make them more confident. In fact, Wang Feng originally thought that he could find the human race among these captive races, because after all, the human race's galaxies were all destroyed by the Cosmic Ghost, and there was a branch of the human race that branched out, and their whereabouts are unknown since then, and they were not seen when the Endless Road opened. It's just that in the memory of the Cosmic Ghost, there is no information about the human race at all. However, this does not mean that the human race has not been captured by the Cosmic Ghost. It may be because the Cosmic Ghost is not at a high level, and he has not really entered. He has been through those captive areas, so he doesn't know all the races. Even now, Wang Feng is still convinced that the missing group of humans should be trapped by the Cosmic Ghosts. However, it may be because of the grievances between the human race and the Cosmic Ghosts that the human race has received special treatment, so the general Cosmic Ghosts are not. Just don't know. But it doesn't matter. Now that we know the location of the Kali clan, let's start with the Kali clan. It just so happens that the stealth abilities of the three little ones can come in handy at this time. Now that Wang Feng had decided, he immediately started to contact the third child and ask them to join him. Speaking of which, the third child was safer than Wang Feng in the city. After all, Wang Feng could not make his body completely invisible. Can only use the cover of buildings to avoid the cosmic ghost through teleportation. It took less than an hour for Sang Xiao to appear in the room where Wang Feng was. For them, the building of the cosmic ghost could not stop them at all. There are your people in the city. Although I don't know when or where they were captured by the cosmic ghost, they are now in the city and are raised as livestock by the cosmic ghost. Provide food. After the arrival of the third child, Wang Feng went straight to the topic without any nonsense. So, I want you to sneak in and contact your clansmen, but, I don't know if your clansmen in the city will, after seeing you, not only fail to cooperate with you, but will betray you. In that case, we'll be in trouble. Doomsday Special Forces. Author, Huanjing Chengzu. Chapter 1140. Hearing Wang Feng's words, the three little ones of Shalumi hesitated for a moment. After all, they didn't even know where these people came from. It was the Devourer's army, not the cosmic ghost, that attacked their planet. Moreover, Wang Feng also mentioned that the Devourer didn't seem to have sent any captives to the cosmic ghost. Well, how about this? You sneak in first and see the situation of your people. As for your origins, you don't have to tell them for now. Anyway, you are not human. Even if they spread it, the cosmic ghost should not think of our human race. Wang Feng saw the three little ones' uncertainty, thought about it and said, "Okay. Then let's go and see the situation first, see where these people came from, and then talk about the rest." Wang Mi nodded and said, "Well, they are in this area. You three can go together. If there is any situation, just come to me directly." Wang Feng pointed to Wang Mi, the captive area where the Kali tribe was. Anyway, they had a way to find him, so as long as they found their people, the rest would be easy. After the three little ones left, Wang Feng started moving forward again. He did not start killing directly because he knew that the death of the cosmic ghost civilians would not attract the special attention of the cosmic ghosts. He still approached the direction of the energy shield cautiously as before. Because now Wang Feng certainly knew the number of cosmic ghosts, and knew that it would be useless to kill them by himself, so he did not waste that energy, and it was easy to have accidents. Wang Feng planned to destroy all the cosmic ghosts on this level, so he was not in a hurry to kill these minions first. Although the power of the human race was far behind that of the cosmic ghosts, Wang Feng always believed that they had the ability to destroy the cosmic ghosts. The human race had gone through so many dangers to get to the present, and even Wang Feng himself had escaped death several times. So now Wang Feng did not think that the comparison of power was the key to determining victory or defeat. Moreover, the cosmic ghosts could not find the human race's defense fortress at all, and they had already sneaked into the cosmic ghost's lair. Therefore, in terms of the situation comparison, Wang Feng believes that the human race is now in an advantageous position, not the seemingly powerful cosmic ghost race. After 4 days of continuous movement, Wang Feng finally came to a building closest to the energy shield. He looked at the energy shield outside the window and felt a little embarrassed. The most important thing now is that Wang Feng has no idea what the energy shield is used for, so he doesn't dare to touch it easily. Moreover, although Wang Feng has killed several cosmic ghosts along the way, there is not much information about the energy shield in their memories. Now Wang Feng only knows that even these cosmic ghosts killed by him will be discovered and killed directly when they enter the energy shield. For other information, the civilians of these cosmic ghosts have no idea at all. But at least now Wang Feng can confirm that the area covered by this energy shield is the most important area of the cosmic ghost, and this energy shield has been turned on since the human race entered this layer, and there has never been any change. Therefore, Wang Fen naturally understood that he would never be able to wait for the energy shield to be closed by the cosmic ghost, so now he could only think of another way himself. It seems that I still have to find a more advanced cosmic ghost to kill and obtain his memory, so that I can know the secret of this energy shield. But, the advanced cosmic ghosts are all in the building in the shield, and there is no way to kill them without going in. Wang Fen looked at the energy shield and thought to himself. But if I can go in, why do I need his memory? Isn't this a paradox? Just when Wang Fen was racking his brains to think about how to deal with this energy shield that blocked him outside, he suddenly received a signal from San Xiao. Because of Wang Lu's ability, Wang Fen could remotely sense San Xiao, but the information he got was not very clear. So Wang Fen hurried to the location of San Xiao, ready to meet San Xiao. When Wang Fen met San Xiao again, it was in the area where the Kali people were kept in captivity. After meeting San Xiao, Wang Fen found that San Xiao did not seem to bring him any good news, because these captive races were more important to the cosmic ghost, so the cosmic ghosts that Wang Fen had killed before only knew a general idea about this aspect. But the real situation made Wang Feng's original plan to rebel against those captive races basically completely hopeless. Because the food eaten by the races kept in captivity by the cosmic ghost was provided to them by the cosmic ghost, and the cosmic ghost also added a substance to those foods. Under the long-term use of this substance, the intelligence of all the races kept in captivity by the cosmic ghost has greatly degenerated. The first generation of their captured races may not be greatly affected, but from the second generation, their intelligence began to decline, and now they are no different from idiots. Because what the cosmic ghost needs is the vitality of these races, and nothing else. It's just like raising pigs for humans. As long as the pigs can eat, sleep, and grow fat, they are the best breeds. Only the top leaders of the cosmic ghost know this, and the cosmic ghosts killed by Wang Feng are just civilians. They only know the situation when these races were first captured, so this kind of thing that Wang Feng couldn't imagine happened. According to San Xiao, they did sneak into the area where the Kali tribe is located, but those tribesmen, let alone telling San Xiao about their origins, have almost lost the ability to communicate in language. And the first batch of creatures that were captured had long been used as food by the cosmic ghost. What's left now is just the species that have preserved their survival instincts and are improved by the cosmic ghost. Now they only keep the instinct of eating, drinking, defecating and urinating. Every day in their own area, they don't know how to escape. They just eat and sleep and eat. When the cosmic ghost thinks it's okay, they will be taken away as food. Such creatures are of no help to Wang Feng's plan at all. After knowing that his hope was shattered, Wang Feng shook his head in frustration. Since the Kali tribe is like this, then there is no need to go to other places. It is estimated that they are similar. Think about it, it's just to raise some food. Of course, the dumber the better. The cosmic ghost does this, which is indeed in line with their own interests. Forget it. Let's go back first. Wang Feng thought for a long time, and there was no way, so he had to go back and meet up with Lu Wanting and the others. Now it seems that there is basically no breakthrough on the ground, so Wang Feng can only take risks and try to break into the Cosmic Ghost's battleship to see if he can try to enter the escort team's space battleship and kill a member of the escort team. Seize his memory. Now Wang Feng certainly knows that those space battleships that are still staying near the city belong to the escort team, but he still doesn't know the importance of the escort team to the Space Ghost. In fact, any member of the escort team is recorded in the energy shield, that is to say, as long as Wang Feng can kill a member of the escort team, he can clearly know the secret of the energy shield. Wang Feng now also regrets a little. If he had known this earlier, he should have directly swallowed the consciousness of the captain of the Space Ghost battleship he killed when he seized the Space Ghost battleship, and seized his memory. Now maybe it wouldn't be so troublesome. It's just that swallowing consciousness and retaining his complete memory takes some time. Before, Wang Feng was in the enemy ship, so he didn't have time to absorb their memories, so he only absorbed their life energy before, so now it's a bit troublesome. With the three children, Wang Feng returned to the place they had agreed on before. Calculating the time, there was still a day and a half, which was the time they had agreed on before, and Lu Wanting would drive a small fighter to pick them up. Just as Wang Feng and his friends were waiting for Lu Wanting and his friends, Wang Feng suddenly discovered that a familiar figure was walking towards them from a distance. Although this cosmic ghost was still far away from them, 2 streets away, Wang Feng's eyes still clearly captured that guy. What made Wang Feng almost shout out was that although this cosmic ghost was completely unfamiliar to him in appearance and face, his walking posture and eyes made him feel extremely familiar. "Instructor!" Wang Feng called out in a low voice, and then suddenly realized that the instructor was a devourer, so there was naturally no flaw in turning into a cosmic ghost. However, the instructor should want to make himself recognizable, so he used the posture and pace that he was familiar with before, and walked towards the meeting point they agreed in advance. Seeing the instructor walking all the way, and the cosmic ghosts on the road also gave way to him one after another, and seemed a little afraid of him, Wang Feng suddenly smiled and said softly, "It seems, we finally have a breakthrough. Instructor, you are really reliable."